relate. I mean, no matter when it happens.
Down they go to Tony. Going to end it with a dunk. Well, Fayetteville is 1,843 miles away.
And pushing across from left to right. He steals the bag. Wow. He steals home.
Kurt Wilson, while Nixon was on the mound looking down, has stolen home to win the ball game.
8 seconds for Lowry to work with. Mounted by Irving, stolen by Drummond. Drummond coast to coast with the throwdown. Did he chuck a deuce on the way to the basket?
Even Steve Nash is smiling at this one. Oh, big man, shoot the gas.
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Taproom Sports Podcast. I am your host, Jordan Stacks on Stacks. Lats. Here as always with my guy, Mr. Big Ballin' Ben Larson.
That's what she said.
Yes, sir.
How you doing tonight,
Yes,
brother?
sir. Doing well, man. Enjoying the weekend. Wish we had some more, but really just loving this weather out here in California, man. Cannot beat it. In the high 70s, low 80s this whole weekend. We're gonna have a hot one this week, but it's good to be back in that summertime loving here. And we got baseball coming back this week, so I am stoked, absolutely stoked. Wrapping up basketball, wrapping up hockey. It's good times in the sports world, and of course, I got two great beers tonight. I'm super stoked. So, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Great weekend. Saturday night was a beautiful night, man. North Carolina.
Yep.
Sending off Coach K into retirement. Only fitting, just like it was only fitting that they smacked him in his last game at home. And then it kind of sucked with the Kansas game because obviously, Villanova was missing Justin Moore, who's arguably their best player. So that one, we kind of knew how that one was gonna end up. But man, we're on deck for a nice national championship. Very excited for it tomorrow. Looking ahead to the Masters as well, Ben, and we are here, man, for opening week in baseball, dude. Thursday, it's here. We're
crazy town.
Yeah, man, it's a beautiful time, man. Spring is here, full
effect.
Late,
but
yeah, a little late, but
but we got games. That's all that matters. We got a full season too.
We get a full season. We got games, and it should be awesome. We're definitely going to talk about a lot of that today. We're going to talk about the AL, NL West. We're also going to talk about, MVP, World Series champs. We're going to give our predictions on the season. So you're definitely going to want to stay tuned for that. And of course, man, you said you got two good beers. I got two good beers. Looking forward to it, Ben.
Loving it.
Yes.
I got to ask, what jersey you got sporting right there?
Oh, I'm wearing a Gary Payton Sonics jersey.
Oh, old school. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. The glove.
I was
loving what his son's doing too.
Yeah, I have a family out here. They have a timeshare, and as I was coming back from there before we hopped on, I was in the elevator, and there was a father and son there, and he was like, "Dude, that's such a sick jersey, bro. A Sonics jersey." It was like a 16-year-old kid. I was like, yeah.
That's right. And then they got discouraged by the hat that you're wearing, but it's okay. That's okay.
Negative, dude. But I'm getting discouraged by this hat.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Well, before we get into sports, we got to talk beer because beer is, up on the top of our list, just like sports are with our loves and our lives. Yep. So we wanted to incorporate beer into our podcast and really make it seem like we were sitting at a bar drinking some beer and just talking sports and, really about what was going on in the previous week, which is where we got our podcast from. So each week we're going to be reviewing and drinking two beers on the podcast. We're going to kind of let you know what we think about this beer. Maybe you like it and you agree with what we say about the beers. Maybe you don't. And that's okay. Everybody's got their own tastes, and those tastes changes. So maybe if you hadn't liked something previous, try it out. Those brewers put a lot of different twists on these beers, and I at least know that my tastes have changed over the years. So Who knows? Maybe yours could as well. We just really want you to get out there, support those local breweries, brewers, bottle shops, and make sure that they're having just as much love as as you love the alcohol kind of aspect of it. So if you do want to get some good beers, make sure to go to Tavour or download the Tavour app, use promo code Taproom and signing on, and you'll get $10 off your first purchase of $25 or more. In some cases, that's 2 free beers. So I've got a Tavour case that should be delivered within the next couple days. So there'll definitely be some good brews coming in for that. So I'm stoked about this. I've got I guess it's a West Coast, big West Coast brewery for my first, and then a more Midwest East Coast brewery for my second. Second beer is going to be coming from Tavour tonight, but we'll get to that later. Jordan, tell me, what is your first beer of the night?
So my first beer is from a brewing company in which I've never had.
Okay.
This is from Pure Project Brewing Company out of San Diego, California. This is their Rain Unfiltered Pilsner. And so I don't really know that much about this particular brewery because, like I said, this is the first time I've really ever had it, dude. And it's very rare that I drink beers from breweries I've never had before. But this one, Pure Project, they're really about like the environment and like natural flavors and all that, really like holistic type feeling. So I'm interested, man. I'm very interested in this. Yeah, man. I'm very excited for it. The color for a Pilsner bin is like nice and gold. The head pour was really nice too. Obviously, like it's kind of cooled down now because I poured it like 2 minutes ago. But
yeah,
it's a beautiful beer, man.
Oh yeah,
hell yeah, good too.
So I'm going with a Revision Brewing Company today. So these Revision is out of Reno, Nevada. We get a lot of their beers up here, but this is the first time that I've seen this one. This is called Ripon and Brevin. So this is a double West Coast style IPA coming in at 8.5%. This is in collaboration with Rip Beer Company. And Rip is out of, I believe it was Huntington Beach. So good collaboration between Southern California and Reno here. And this has Strata, Simcoe, and Mosaic hops in it. So it's going to be a little bit of, a hop forward. You're going to get those tropical notes. You're going to get a little bit of the Simcoe is going to give you that little bit of a pine note to it too. So I'm hoping that it's going to be a really good beer. It's coming at 8.5%. So a little high for a West Coast IPA that I've seen. But you're looking at that double. Yeah, that double there. So it's gonna be interesting. Great can art. I gotta kind of shout out Lewis. What is it? Lewis Berger for the can art here. It is definitely a great can art, and which is the reason why I picked this one over a different revision. I wanted to do a revision today. So really stoked on that one. And we're gonna get into beer number 2 in a little bit, but it's time to get to some sports.
That's what she said.
That is what she said.
That's going to be your favorite button, huh?
Yeah, dude, I really like that. I really do. It's almost as good as this one.
That is one big pile of shit.
That's a good one, too. But yeah, let's hop into it. So, obviously, we're winding down. We're here in April, which means that March Madness is coming to an end, which means the Final Four is here. The national championship played out on Saturday in New Orleans. 4 blue blood schools, Villanova, Kansas, North Carolina, Duke. Really nobody saw North Carolina making a run like this, and they've looked really good. But really the game, I think that we'll rush through this game real quick because I feel like Kansas closed -4.5. A lot of money was on Kansas. It was no one really gave Villanova a chance. They were missing their best player. And it kind of looked like that in the game. I mean, Kansas shot the fucking lights out, dude. I don't think anybody expected them to shoot 54% from 3.
Huge.
And Villanova, like, they didn't shoot poorly. You know what I mean? It was just Kansas was just so hot, dude. It was like, there's only so much they can do. So, I mean, that game was kind of like, it wasn't close at all. No,
it wasn't.
That game was.
That is one big pile of shit.
Yes, that's what that game was. I mean, do you have any takeaways from that game other than Colin Gillespie's last game? I mean, I feel like there wasn't a ton there.
Yeah, no, I think it really just came down to the rebounds, and that was the biggest kind of differential that I saw within this game. You have 35 rebounds to Kansas versus the 29 to Villanova, and the big thing was the defensive rebounds for Kansas. They really drew on that 38% shooting that Villanova had, and really kind of pushed that into pushing the ball down the court and making those offensive pushes where they needed to. So it was still a fun and entertaining game. It was a good game to watch, but nothing like this like our next game.
Yeah, and I felt like every time Villanova would get close, like they got it to within 6 at one point, and then Kansas went on like a 9-0 run, like right after, and it was a wrap, dude. Like they could never get over that hump. And I thought once they got it to single digits, like right before the half, I was like, all right, dude, Villanova actually has a chance, because you can never count out Jay Wright. Like all his teams play hard, they shoot the ball well, but really they just couldn't stop Kansas, dude. Like they couldn't stop McCormick inside, which was basically opening up shooters all the way around. Like Abaji didn't even miss his first shot until like 5 minutes left in the game. The dude was like 7 for 7 at one point. So I mean, it was just like Kansas just overwhelmed. They just overwhelmed Villanova. They just had too much talent. Obviously, without more, it was really difficult for Villanova to hang. Kansas, Bill Self has a shot at his second national title, and that brings us to the second game, and that was the main event, and it lived up to it, dude. It was absolutely excellent game, dude. I was watching this live at Tenaya, and there's a lot of North Carolina backers there, dude. Everyone was cheering on North Carolina. It was absolutely a fun environment, just an overall dope experience. But I mean, North Carolina, they were a 4.5 point underdog. A lot of money came in early on North Carolina, which I said was going to happen, remember? And then all the public money came in on Duke on Saturday, dude. When the line closed, Ben, there was like 80% of tickets on Duke, dude.
Yikes.
It was crazy.
Ouch.
And I felt even more confident about North Carolina covering at that point. I didn't expect North Carolina to win. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I think Duke was more talented. I said this last week. I thought they were the most talented team left remaining in the tournament. And Vegas agreed with me. They were the favorite to win. They had the best odds to win the title of the 4 teams left. And North Carolina, man, they played an excellent game. Armando Bacot, 21 rebounds, which was incredible. But most importantly, Caleb Love was excellent. 28 points on 11 for 20 shooting. Only shot 3 of 10, Ben, from three-point land, but he hit the most important one, dude, to bring the lead to 4 with under a minute. Just an incredible performance by North Carolina.
Yep. Well, I think that that goes to show what good of a decision that he made last year, not going into the draft knowing kind of where he was going to land, and playing in this additional season here, and really kind of made even more of a name for himself. So I'm really impressed with that decision that he made, and looking at the way that he played was absolutely outstanding. Yeah, you're right, he didn't shoot well from the 3-point line, but he made it when it counted. And I think that's going to be something that teams are really going to look for, with his draft stock. And this is just making it rise. So, great decision. I think there was another one on Kansas that decided to play his extra year instead of going into the draft last year. I forgot his name. It'll come to me.
Abaji.
But was it Abaji? Okay. Yeah.
Kansas has a lot of experience on their team.
Oh yeah. I mean, they have a 6th-year player on their team.
Martin,
Yeah. So, it was, I just thought it was great to see him there. I kind of knew that this was going to happen with the UNC Duke game, just because of how, Coach K's final game played out in, at Duke's home court.
Yeah, but Duke was playing so well though, dude.
Duke was definitely playing well, but they also were playing well at the end of the season, and to have just that big of a, of a deficit to come back, I just didn't see Carolina playing that much of a different game than what they did the initial time to Duke. And yeah, this time it was only 4 points, but previous it was what, 15?
Well, I mean, if you told me, I mean, it's crazy because like this game was back and forth, dude. It could have been a coin flip. Like,
it's true.
A couple things go different way. Like, you know, who knows what happens. But if you told me Caleb Love was going to shoot 3 of 10 from 3, and then Brady Manick was going to shoot 4 of 10 from the field and 3 of 6 from the free throw line, like that dude couldn't even hit free throws. And he was cold all night, dude, until he hit that 1-3 down the stretch when the dude was in his face. Like, he hit the hardest, most difficult 3. And I thought that was huge too. And Baycott fouled out. I mean, honestly, if you were to show me this box score, if you were to show me the box score, I wouldn't have been shocked if Duke won. I think where Duke really struggled was that outside of Paolo Banchero, they really didn't get a lot of production. I mean, Wendell Moore was 4 of 14 from the field. Roach was 2 of 11. AJ Griffin was 1 of 7. And those are guys that have been key contributors throughout their run. Because, you know, Banchero struggled against Arkansas, but who carried them? Roach and Griffin. They were the 2 best players on the floor. And now, you know, they just didn't have enough against North Carolina. I think that's the interesting part about North Carolina, especially heading into the Kansas matchup. And I said this on if anyone caught my TikTok on the game, because North Carolina +4 was my best bet of the weekend. And I said, you know, North Carolina is long and athletic, dude.
Yeah.
They're not a deep team. They only go like 5 deep, 5-6 deep, but they're very long and athletic, and they give teams trouble. And they've been holding teams to 66 points in the last, you know, month and a half.
Yeah.
They're playing excellent defense, and they're shooting the 3 well. And they didn't shoot the 3 well against Duke, and they still won.
Yeah. Well, and the big thing is they're stopping the 3. I mean, with Duke only shooting 22.5% from the 3-point line, like that, you're not going to be able to win games when you're, you know, shooting 5 for 22 there.
And that's where the long athletic wings like come into play, like Leaky Black. Like Leaky Black's out there to play defense. You know what I mean? Like he was basically guarding Banchero most of the time. So was Brady Manick. Brady Manick did a great job on Banchero, I thought. Even though Banchero was hitting shots, he was making it difficult. And then, man, it was a great game, man. That was an excellent game. That was probably the best game of the tournament, in my opinion, so far.
Yeah. Without
a doubt. And this tournament, honestly, I thought about this last night too, is that this tournament hasn't had a single buzzer beater yet. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Okay.
Is it going to happen on Monday?
Could be.
Yeah, shoot.
Could be.
Because we always get at least one buzzer beater a tournament.
Yeah.
Usually more than that. You know what I mean? So let's talk about the game on Monday, dude. Kansas, North Carolina. Right now, Kansas, depending on the book, they're like 4.5 point favorites. What's your thoughts on the game so far early on?
I mean, just looking at numbers, and, you know, that's really all I can look at, because I don't follow college basketball as closely as, you know, a lot of people do. You know, it looks like it's going to be an incredibly evenly matched game, and which means that it's going to be really fun, in my opinion, to watch. I think what's over under here sitting at 152. I think that could be definitely a number that we have in play. Looking at, my opinion, the under there. You know, like you said earlier, we've got North Carolina, who's really limiting the points of their of their opponents here. And I mean, Kansas, who's got just as potent of a defense here that, you know, only allows 60.8 points per game over the season. So, you know, it's definitely something I think that can be in play. I don't know who you take. Do you take the Cinderella story of the number 8 seed being the second number 8 seed to win the game? Or do you look at the depth of and the experience of Kansas? I mean, both of these teams have experience, but Kansas has a lot of experience here. I think they played what was the number? It was like 795 games out of their whole list.
They're like key contributors on their team. David McCormack, he's a senior. Christian Braun's a junior. Baji's a senior. Mitch Lightfoot's a senior. So they're basically everyone but DeJuan Harris is a junior or senior on their team. They're a very, very experienced team.
And then you look at the other side, North Carolina, you got a senior, a junior, 2 sophomores, and a graduate transfer.
Yeah, but
so there's experience too. But
the only thing I would say about North Carolina is like North Carolina has 3 McDonald's All-Americans on their team. Like they have dudes that are like were projected to be NBA players coming out of high school. So that's what I'm saying. Like North Carolina is long and athletic. I think the one thing here is like Kansas is an interesting team to me because they struggled against Creighton, who was missing 2 of their starters, and they struggled against them. And then they struggled against Providence in the second half. And then they blew the fucking brakes off of Miami. And then they basically blew the brakes off of Villanova, too. You know what I mean? Like, they dominated their last 2 games, but they struggled their 2 previous games in the tournament. But defensively, they've been playing well pretty much, the last 3 games, holding their opponents to about, like, less than 60 points per game in their last 3. But none of the teams they faced have the talent that North Carolina has. Yeah. And it's tough to look at this game and look at North Carolina as a whole in their season because they're like 2 different teams. They're the team that was, pre-February, and then they're the team that's post-February. They're 2 completely different teams. And so that's the most interesting thing to me about North Carolina. And I think North Carolina, I think they're just playing way too well right now. I mean, they beat Baylor, beat UCLA, beat the hottest team in the country in St. Peter's, and then they beat Duke, who's arguably the most talented team in the entire tournament. I just don't know. I just don't know how you don't take North Carolina plus the points here. Will they win? I don't know. But I definitely think they're going to cover. And this is a very interesting tidbit here, Ben. The last 4 national champions have gone 6-0 against the spread in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, you were telling me about this when we were talking about the game.
Of the 2 teams remaining, only one of them is undefeated against the spread right now, and that's North Carolina.
Yep.
So either the next national champion is going to be undefeated against the spread, or we're going to have that stat's going to be broken. That trend is going to be broken.
Yep.
So I got to lean on North Carolina. Actually, I like North Carolina plus the points.
Are we doing +4, +4.5?
I mean, if I can get +4.5, I'll take +4.5.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some books out here. I think Caesars has it +4.5. I think MGM has it +4.5. Circus still at +4. I mean, we'll see. I do think that public money is going to come in on Kansas. So I mean, if you can get +4.5, that's a good number. But you also don't want to wait and get 3.5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That won't be good. But I said after North Carolina, after the buzzer ended, someone texted me and they're like, "What do you think the line's going to be?" And I said Kansas -3.5. So as long as it's 4.5, I'm taking North Carolina. The second that drops under 3.5, I would take Kansas.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where we're at right now.
Yep.
Anything else on March Madness?
Great tournament. Women's game today was fucking dope.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Dawn Staley, dude. Second national championship. South Carolina is a fucking oiled machine now, dude.
That was a tough Stanford game on Friday night. Definitely have to say that.
Yeah, man. They locked Stanford up, man. They had that shit. They had them struggling. Struggling. All right, let's do our top 5 teams real quick, and then we're gonna hop into some trivia with Raider Eddie, and then we're gonna come back and do our NL AL West over under futures, and we're gonna do some Masters odds as well as some other stuff, as well as more. We got a lot to digest.
A lot to talk about, yeah.
A lot to do. So, Ben, obviously last week we didn't do our top 5 teams because we did the top 5 movies in honor of the Oscars.
Yep.
So
what an Oscars it was.
Yes, it was very memorable.
What did the 5 fingers say to the face? Slap.
Very, very memorable Oscars. But there's only a couple weeks left of the NHL season, so break it down for us. What's your top 5 NHL teams right now heading into the final? What is it, like 2 weeks left in the NHL season or 3?
Yeah, we got about 2 weeks. We've got 12 games left. So let's say 3 weeks because there's time between the games. So we'll say 3 weeks left in the season here. So we're getting close. We're definitely getting close. Teams in the top 10 are looking at 68 to 70 games played in an 82 game season. So It is definitely down to the wire. So last week, or 2 weeks ago, sorry, I had Colorado at number 1, Florida number 2, the Rangers at number 3, Tampa Bay at number 4, Carolina at number 5, and my honorable mention was Pittsburgh. This week, we are going to go honorable mention. We are going to go with the New York Rangers. They are 4th in the NHL. So we are dropping them down a little bit from where their ranking is. And they've got 94 points, but they are on a 2-game losing streak. And they do have, 2 extra game played than the teams who are in 5 and 6. So we are going to be going with the New York Rangers as honorable mention this week. Number 5 is going to be the Tampa Bay Lightning. They've got 68 games played. They're sitting 6th in the NHL with 93 points. Good team. They got a lot of history within this team, just winning so many cups over the last few years. And this is a team that really just needs to get to the playoffs to get a good push to win that championship and Stanley Cup, I guess we'll call it, since that's the official term there. I'm thinking NCAA still. So we're going to go with Tampa Bay at number 5. Number 4, we're going to go with the Toronto Maple Leafs. 68 games played, and they are sitting, again, tied for 5th. They have the 5th spot because of, wins against Tampa Bay with, within the season. They are on a 4-game winning streak, but they did just take a big hit for their goalie going down, who may be out for the playoffs as well. So that's going to be an interesting to see if he can come back and get back into playing before the for the playoff start. Number 3, we're going to go with Carolina. They've moved back up in my kind of list, coming from number 5 to number 3. Carolina is just, they're a great team. We've seen it all year. They are, pushing the pace with 3rd place in the league with 98 points, 4-3-3 over the last 10. So it has been a struggle, but they are still keeping up at the top of their division. So we're going to have Carolina there at number 3. Number 2, we're going to go with the Florida Panthers. They are 2nd in the NHL with 102 points. They have secured a playoff spot, so we can get a little bit of rest. Ekblad is out on LTIR for the remainder of the season, but that's also just to save a little bit of salary cap. We've seen that the last couple of years, which is
it's a new NHL strategy, huh?
Exactly, it's the trend. But again, 4-game winning streak. These guys are just tearing it up right now. And number 1, we can't leave Colorado off the top of the list. They're on a 3-game winning streak, 104 points in the season. And they're just really kind of close to unstoppable right now, 8-1-1 over their last 10. And, they are just tearing up the Western Conference here. So loving what they're doing. This is going to be the team to beat for the cup this year. So if you can get better odds now, I'd say take it, put some money on Colorado winning the cup.
Nice, man. Nice. All right, so NBA teams, last time we spoke about our top 5 teams, I had Suns number 1, Heat number 2, Bucks number 3, Grizzlies number 4, Celtics number 5. We got some different teams on deck here. I actually messed it up on mine. So, actually, honorable mention, we're going to go Warriors and Bucks. The Bucks are like Jekyll and Hyde right now, but when push comes to shove, like, they have the championship pedigree and they dominate good teams, really. Number 5 is going to be the Boston Celtics, playing very well. I actually could possibly move them up a little bit, but the Mavericks, who I have at number 4, are playing very well. They're the 3rd seed in the West now, basically locked in there. Number 3, we're going to go Memphis Grizzlies. For some reason, man, Ja Morant goes down and this team plays better, which is
out of their mind.
Which is mind-boggling, dude. They beat the Nets, the Bucks, the Heat, like the Suns. Like, it doesn't matter who they play. And not only are they beating these teams, like, they're beating the shit out of these teams. Like, they're dominating them. Memphis is very deep. They're a sneaky team, man. They're very good. Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr. This team is phenomenal if you have not watched them. Number 2, we're going to go Miami Heat, still the 1 seed in the East. They had a little hiccup, but then they come back. They beat the Celtics. They beat the Raptors shorthanded tonight. So give me Miami number 2, and then number 1, we're still going with the Phoenix Suns. Still the team to beat, in my opinion. 62-16. They lost today against the Thunder, but they literally rested like Devin Booker. Chris Paul did play, but Devin Booker didn't play. If Devin Booker doesn't play, you can't really, it is what it is. And DeAndre Ayton didn't play. So Phoenix number 1. The Lakers are not on there. The Lakers may not make the playoffs.
No. And LeBron's sitting for the rest of the year, right?
I mean, who knows? But at this point, it's like you might as well rest him. I mean, AD got hurt again today. You know what I mean? It's like the dude can't stay healthy. You know, fuck, man. The Lakers are a fucking shit show, dude. But they are the gift that keeps on giving, if we're being completely honest. They definitely got to blow that whole fucking thing up. It's going to be a very interesting offseason for the Lakers. Wouldn't be shocked if LeBron gets traded too, but that's going to take him saying, I want to be traded.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But let's get ready in here. We'll do some trivia, and then we'll hop back in, and we will talk about our MLB futures, the last division we got, plus MVP champions. We'll give all our predictions, Ben, division winners. So stay locked with us. We shall be right back.
Welcome back to Taproom Trivia, backed by popular demand. You guys know the rules, right? 3 categories, 3 questions, 1 point for the easy, 2 points for the medium, 3 points for the difficult questions. Last time, our winner for this game was Jordan, so we are going to give him the first option. Our 3 categories this week, we have category 1, the 1990s, any sport, just talking about the 1990s. We have category number 2, free agency nightmares, NFL edition. Free agency time right now, figured it's a perfect category for us. That's free agency all time. Last category, we have the Final Four. Again, perfect time of the year for the Final Four, and this is the history of the Final Four, just questions throughout, the lifetime of the Final Four. So, Jordan, are you ready to get your first question?
Absolutely.
All right. Please pick a category and a number.
We're going to start it out big, dude. We're going to go Final Four, biggest question, 3 points.
Okay. All right. Only one player has been to the Final Four each year of his college career. Name that player.
One player has been to the Final Four each
year of his college lifetime, if you will.
That answer would be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Lou Alcindor.
Close, but no.
Bill Walton.
We're going to give Ben an opportunity for rebuttal. Ben?
Bill Walton.
That is also wrong. The answer is Christian Laettner.
Okay, I was going to say, before he said that, I was going to say Grant
Lou
Hill.
Alcindor
So
didn't make it all 4
good thing.
years?
Christian what?
No, are you sure?
Christian Laettner made it to the Final Four 4 years straight.
Are you sure Kareem Abdul-Jabbar didn't?
Did 3 years.
Oh, my God.
Shit. All right, Jordan.
Interesting current events.
Back to you.
All right, let's go Final Four 2. Final
Four 2.
Yes.
All right. True or false?
All right. True or false?
Rick Pitino and John Calipari have taken at least 3 different schools to the Final Four.
Well, Calipari's taken UMass, Memphis, and Kentucky to the Final Four. Rick Pitino has taken Providence. He's taken Louisville. So I'm gonna say false. I don't know if and he took Kentucky. True.
Oh, that's a catch. I will allow it. It is true. Nailed
Shit's
it.
rigged.
For 1 sec, because Kentucky was like the equalizer. I was like, he might not get this one. But okay. 2 points for Jordan. Jordan, the board is yours again.
All right, let's close out this category. Final Four for 1.
Cool. Final Four for 1. 5 colleges have made the Final Four over 10 times in school history.
Yes.
Name 3 of them.
Duke, North Carolina,
Ding.
and Final Four 10 times. Duke, North Carolina, UCLA.
Correct. Ben, for a point, can you name one of the other 2?
Let's go with UConn.
Incorrect. It was Kansas and Kentucky.
That's a good guess though, Ben.
That is close. I think they were at 8, if I can remember correctly. All right. So 3 points, Jordan. 0 for Ben. Ben drinks beer. Jordan, you have free agency nightmares and the 1990s.
All right, let's go 1990s for 1.
All right. In the 1990s, this is 1990 to 1999. Who won the most Super Bowls in that time? You have A, the Broncos, B, the Niners, C, the Cowboys.
Eddie didn't listen to our podcast last week.
Ben asked this question.
Oh, did you? Really?
Dallas Cowboys for 3.
That was one. I'll give it to you, Ben.
That's hella funny.
No, that's yours, Jordan. That's yours.
That is hilarious. No, I did not. I was on vacation, dude. Sorry.
All right, 1990s for 2. 1990s for 2.
All right. There was 2 teams who won multiple Stanley Cups in the 1990s. Who were those 2 teams?
It was the Detroit Red Wings and the New York Rangers.
Incorrect. Ben? One of those 2 was correct.
Colorado Avalanche?
Incorrect. The Pittsburgh Penguins.
Penguins. Oh, okay.
Fuck. Why didn't I think of the Penguins? Mario Lemieux and Yager.
Yep. And 91 and 92, I believe, was when they won it.
God.
You're right with Detroit, though.
Yeah, Detroit was 97, 98.
Iserman, baby. Stevie.
All right. So I believe both of you have to drink on that one.
Yep. I already drank mine.
Okay. Perfect. So the score is, I believe, Jordan.
4-0.
4-0. So Jordan, the board is yours. We have 90s for 3 left, and then free agency complete.
All right, let's do free agency frenzy for 1.
For 1. All right. The Eagles signed a high-profile running back in 2015. They signed this player to a 5-year, $40 million deal.
DeMarco Murray.
Oh, there you go. That was that. Again, the 1 is supposed to be the easy one.
Free agency frenzy for 2.
2. All right. This quarterback signed a 4-year, $88 million deal and only started 4 games for that team. Name the team and player. A, Matt Flynn, Seattle Seahawks. B, Nick Foles, Jacksonville Jaguars. Or C, Donovan McNabb, formerly the Redskins, now the Commanders.
Well, Matt Flynn, he had that one good start in Green Bay and got that big deal from the Seahawks, and then he was traded to the Raiders. McNabb did sign with the Commanders, and Foles did sign with the Jaguars, but I don't think it was for that much money. I'm gonna say Matt Flynn, dude.
Incorrect. Ben?
Can you repeat the question, Alex?
This quarterback signed a 4-year, $88 million deal and only started 4 games for the team that signed him. Name the team and player. Is it Nick Foles, Jacksonville Jaguars, or Donovan McNabb, formerly the Redskins, now Commanders?
Say Foles.
Correct. Nick Foles signed a 4-year, $88 million deal and started a total of 4 games before getting his head absolutely knocked off of his shoulders because the Jaguars stink.
I don't know why I said Matt Flynn because he didn't even start a game for the Seahawks.
Matt Flynn never started a game for Seattle, got traded to the Raiders and never started a game for the Raiders. Got beat out by Russell Wilson and Derek Carr.
4 years, 88 for Foles?
For Foles. Yep. 34 guaranteed.
Christ. I mean, when you think about that, 34 guarantees not that much for a quarterback.
You know, it's crazy that we think of that Matt Flynn deal as being a huge deal. That was 3 years, $19 million.
Wow.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he didn't have any, like, he had one.
Right. It was a big, at the time, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
10 mil guaranteed. That was like the biggest guarantee at the time. All right. So, Ben, you have the 1990s for 3 or NFL free agency Nightmares for 3.
90s for 3.
All right. Greg Maddux had the most wins for a starting pitcher in the 1990s. How many did he have? A, 166, B, 170, or C, 174?
What was B? 170?
170.
We'll go 174.
Incorrect. Jordan.
Now we know what it is.
What is your rebuttal?
170.
Incorrect.
What the fuck?
The correct answer is 166. Now, Ben, since the question was yours, I'll give you a chance for the bonus. For 2 points, how many years did he have 20 wins in that span?
Three.
Incorrect. Jordan.
6.
That's a ton. But
That's
it was
it was 120 of those 166.
He had 2 years of 20 wins, but he averaged 17 and a half wins for that span.
Yeah.
I was thinking like 10 years, 200 wins, 20 wins for 10 years, that's 200. So I was trying to break it down, but goddamn. I mean, Maddux was a G, dude.
Dude, he was money, dude. He was money. This is one of the most accurate pitchers of all time.
Yep.
All right, Ben, this is important because I think the score right now is 5-2.
5-2. Yep.
All right. This one is worth 3 points. If you get this, there's a tie, and there's also a bonus question. The Raiders signed 2 Pro Bowl MVP, or I'm sorry, signed 2 Super Bowl MVPs in back-to-back years in 1995 and 1996. One on defense, one on offense. The wide receiver kick returner scored 1 touchdown in 3 years. The defensive back played 12 games in 2 seasons and had 2 interceptions and was never a starter after the first year. Can you name one of these 2 players?
I'm like, my head is turning over here, dude.
When I say the names, you're going to be like, damn.
I think I know the wide receiver.
Cheers.
All right, so the wide receiver is Rocket Ishmael.
Close, but no. The wide receiver kick returner, Mr. Heisman himself, Desmond Howard.
Oh.
After the Green Bay Packers Super Bowl, the Raiders signed him to one of the biggest deals of free agency that year. The next player is Larry Brown, who caught 2 interceptions in the Super Bowl against the Steelers that were literally thrown right at him. He was one of the worst DBs I've ever seen play football.
You had to throw a Raiders question in there,
Well,
bro.
dude, I still think these are the 2 worst free agent signings in NFL history. No. I'm all
There's
about
There's a lot of bad ones, dude.
Yeah, those ones just stick out to me.
It's a good question, though.
So the final score would be
was definitely one of them.
Final score is Jordan 5, Ben 2 for this edition of the Tap Room.
Hey, so you're the host next week.
So I would say your reward is you get to ask the questions and I get to look like the fool next week. So
sweet.
Tune in for that when Ben asks us about figure skating from the 80s.
Michelle Kwan. Hey, stay locked, stay loaded. We'll be right back with some more Taproom Sports podcast. Peace. What's up? We are back. Thank you to Raider Eddie for joining us for trivia. I promise next week we'll have the audio dialed down. I promise y'all. But thank y'all for tuning into that. That was a really fun trivia, man. Eddie always comes with some solid ass questions. Of course he had to fucking ask like the hardest Raiders question of all time too.
Yeah, at least I get to make questions next week. So it's not Ben Ben drinks beer. It's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, it won't be
Definitely
Ben drinks beer. It'll be probably Eddie drinks water.
There we go. But it is, speaking of beer, it is time to get back into beer, and we've got our second beer of the night. And my second beer is definitely going to be focused on something that we're going to be talking about just coming up after baseball here. So, that's why I have chosen this one, and it has sat for a little while in preparation for this one. So I am stoked.
I've been waiting for that one, dude.
It's a big one. So, I mean, should I go first on this one, or you want to go with your?
Yeah, go first. I haven't even poured mine yet. Go first. Go first.
So, my beer is called Members Bounce, and this is coming from Junkyard Brewing Company. And I know where Junkyard's coming out of. Minnesota, Moorhead, Minnesota. I've drinking so many Junkyards, but had to do this for the Masters in line with the can art here. It is. It's just reminiscent of everything Masters that we have. So we're going to be looking for a good one for this beer. So Members Bounce, it's a New England style hazy IPA, and it is dry hopped with Denali, Citra, and El Dorado hops. So it's really boasting of its fruits here. So big citrus flavors and aromas, pineapple, pine. It also has hints of watermelon and mango. So just coming off, the smell is definitely fruity. I don't really smell any pine off of this one. It was great pour, not too big of a head here. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. But it looks straight orange juice here.
Yeah, the color looks beautiful though.
Yeah, super thick hazy, and it looks like it's going to be a good beer, so we'll see how it goes.
Fuck yeah, dude. Well, this is interesting because I am too drinking a hazy IPA, dude.
First sip is quality. Sorry.
She said.
We're both drinking hazy IPAs for this beer. This one, I'm drinking a Radioactive Fallout. It's a hazy IPA, 6.5% from El Segundo Brewing Company. Yeah, man, looking forward to this one. This one too, just a eruption of pineapple and mango and citrus flavors, like a volcano into my nose, dude. The second you take a sniff, dude, just like.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
That is what she said. Especially pineapple, because that's the girls like that, dude. If you guys don't know, eat a lot of pineapple. All right. Nah, but man, I like, me, Ben. I like hazy IPAs. I like my IPAs. I love citrus IPAs. So really looking forward to this one, man. And I'm really looking forward to yours, dude, because you showed me that can a while ago, dude. And I was
Months ago, yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that one, dude.
Yep.
And honestly, I might need 3 beers in the next segment because we're gonna talk about the AL West, and it's gonna be rough, dude. And if I cry, I'm sorry. If I get emotional, I apologize. But it's been rough, man. It's been rough.
Oh yeah. So I didn't mention this, that mine was a 7%er. What's yours coming in at?
6.5. So roughly the same, dude. If you like to round up, basically the same.
Yep.
But let's hop into these baseball previews, man. Man, I've been dreading.
You want to start AL and push back that NL a little bit?
We're going AL first. We are going AL first.
Okay.
I have the numbers up right here, Ben.
Okay, perfect.
So should we go top to bottom on this one?
No, we got to continue with bottom to top. Just rip that Band-Aid, bro.
Okay.
Rip that Band-Aid.
All right, fuck, dude. All right.
That is one big pile of shit.
And that is the A's off season, dude. It has been fucking treacherous, dude. I sent Ben a text message this morning. John Heyman texted out a tweet earlier. He said, in 1991, the A's had the highest payroll of $33 million in Major League Baseball. And that is currently, in 2022, their payroll after trading Sean Manaea today to the Padres. Dude, it's nasty stuff what's going on in Oakland, dude. And I predicted it too. I said once they fired Bob Melvin, I was like, oh, dude, this is gonna get nasty, dude. They're gonna trade everybody. They are not trying to compete. And this is that typical this is what ownership does when they're trying to move a team. Every time, dude. Every time, bro. Oh, look, I can't fill this stadium. Yeah, because you're fielding a team that nobody has any clue who the fuck is on the team, dude. Like, I look at the opening day roster and I'm like, and you know me, Ben, I follow prospects, I follow baseball closely, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck, dude? Like, our starting rotation is like Frankie Montas, Irvin, and then a bunch of dudes, bro. Brent Honeywell.
Caprillion. You got Caprillion there too.
We got Caprillion. He fell off at the end of last year. Hopefully he can regain like an entire season. That was really the longest he ever pitched. They signed Brett Honeywell from the Tampa Bay Rays, who was once a #1 prospect in the entire Major League Baseball, and now he basically needs Tommy John. He's gonna be out for the year. That's basically been his whole career. He can't stay healthy. AJ Puck can't stay healthy. I mean, dude, it's going to be a nasty year, bro. It is not going to be fun. But for some reason, dude, like 70 games to me is like, I don't know, dude. Like the A's always seem to go over 70 wins. Don't matter.
This is going to be tough.
Doesn't matter.
This is really going to be tough because, I mean, just looking at the list of who has left this year is, it hurts. I mean, it hurts not being an A's fan. So you've the out of your list is just insane. So you got Bob Melvin, which you mentioned. You've got Matt Olson, Matt Chapman, Chris Bassett, Sean Manaea, Jake Dykman, Sterling Marte, Mark Canna, Yusmero Petit, Sergio Romo, Mike Fears, Mitch Moreland, Jan Gomes, Chris Davis, and Andrew Chaffin and Josh Harrison.
All gone.
All gone.
Yeah, I mean,
and you add gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6,
basically
7,
add a bunch of
9
prospects and minimum contracts, dude.
Yeah. Well, I do like them picking up Pache. I think Christian Pache is definitely going to be a good player. I don't think he's going to be, anything that's going to be outstanding, but I think he's going to be one of the best defensive players on the A's.
I mean, he's a high pro. He could be.
Yeah, he's got a good future outlook to him, but
I mean,
this is going to be tough, man.
This is the thing with the A's, dude, and like I've come to grips with it. They're trying to move to Vegas. I understand that. I live in Vegas, so I honestly, I'm all for it, dude. I'd love for the A's to stay in Oakland because that's where I grew up and that's where I feel like they should always be there. But I don't know if it's feasible to run a team in Oakland as the second team in the Bay Area when you can come to Vegas and be the team. You know what I mean?
I mean, it sounds like things are going well in the in the run up of actually getting them into is it Hunter's Point?
No, it's oh my god, the terminal, Howard Terminal, that's right. But there was a setback recently with it.
Yeah, but then they got over that. So things are definitely looking like it is going to happen in Oakland. But, with a horrible season like they're projected to have, I think that could cause issues with getting the funding that they need. And I think that's probably part of the ownership's plan is to have a majorly subpar season to push things into Vegas a little bit and move more. But to be honest, I do think they stay in Oakland. I think they're going to get this new ballpark. The plans for it are incredible. It's going to make Howard Terminal a place to go to, with that whole kind of downtown area. They're trying to talk it into like it being a downtown Disney outside the stadium. And I think that will definitely boost Oakland. And if Oakland's smart, they should do that because it is going to make Oakland a more of an attractive place to go to, and it's going to bring a lot of money.
At the same time, dude, you're asking the taxpayers to fork over like $10 billion, dude, for the development around the stadium, not the stadium, but because the A's are going to put forth $1 billion for the stadium, but they don't want to build the stadium unless the city of Oakland develops around it, and it's going to cost an extra $9 billion. That's asking taxpayers a hell of a lot, dude.
Yeah, I mean, but it is smart for them to do that, because it is going to, again, just bring more into Oakland. And a lot of people in Oakland are the business owners live in Oakland, so it is going to benefit that. But we're getting off topic here. But
the biggest problem about the Bay Area, dude, and you're from you and I both grew up in the Bay Area, so we both know Bay Area fans are fickle as hell, dude. Like, if the team isn't good, they don't support, and that's the issue, dude. Is like they. And the A's are always the second team to the Giants, dude. The Giants are always going to be number one in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And that's tough. Like, if I'm an owner, dude, like, I don't want to be second in my city. You know what I mean? Like, that's I don't know. But the fact on about 70 games, dude. The A's have only gone on under 70 games 3 times since 1997.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're talking about a team that continuously doesn't have a ton of payroll. So that's the thing, is like 70 games is not that much. So
yeah, it's 16 games less than what they did last year.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely going to be 16 games worse. I mean,
yeah, I'm going under here.
Fuck, dude, I don't even know, dude. I lean.
They just don't have the pitching.
But that's the thing, is they always have good pitching.
What is Kotze going to do?
They always have good pitching. Like, they always somehow develop good pitchers, bro.
Yeah.
No one thought Cole Irvin was going to be shit. That dude, he was a decent 5th starter last year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, is like, they just bring up these.
But they're asking him to be what, number 2?
Nah, like 3, 4. I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Yeah. And my big question here with the A's is, what is Kotze going to do? And what really kind of frustrated me with Kotze's interview preseason was when he was asked, like, oh, have you ever, coached a team? Have you ever managed a team? He's like, yeah, my 10-year-old's little league team. That scares the hell out of me.
Dude, he was an assistant coach for the A's for the last like 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a team that he's very familiar with. You know what I mean? It's an organization that he's very familiar with. He played for the A's.
Sure.
It's a guy that I wanted to be I'm hella glad that he's the manager. Like, that's a dude I wanted once Bob Melvin went to San Diego. So I'm glad he's there. I mean, obviously, like, the A's just have a ton of question marks, dude. Like,
yeah,
I don't know how any of these guys are gonna pitch, bro. Like,
yeah,
I'm not even gonna lie, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but I'm just telling you the history of this organization. Like, they always find guys that can pitch.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go under 70 just because they don't have a ton of depth, and they literally are fielding a team like. Elvis Andrus may be the best player on this team, dude. And that's fucking scary, dude. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But Luis Barrera, he is, he was once a very highly touted prospect. He was once like top 7 in the A's organization. Once the pandemic hit, he kind of like fell off a little bit.
Yeah.
They did replenish their farm system, which they needed to do because it got drained because we were making trades for rental pieces to try to compete for the last 3 years. So in that sense, I do see that. Sheldon Nuse, who was A's prospect, which we traded to the Dodgers last year, he's back in the organization. He's been raking in spring training. So if he can continue that'll be pretty nice. I mean, I don't know, dude. Sean Murphy's still nice. I love that Vogt's back. Vote or die, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, give me the under, but it also wouldn't surprise me if this team managed to somehow win like 75 games.
Yeah, I'm pushing the under. I think the rest of the division got better.
Oh, well, I think the rest of the division got better outside of the Astros, who happen to be top. But we'll get there. Let's get to Texas first. Texas Rangers. They're over under 73.5 wins. Ben, what do you think about them?
I love the over here. I love the over here. I think what they did offensively in bringing in players is going to be, a huge jump for this team. Adding Corey Seager, adding Marcus Semien, it's going to be absolutely huge when you put that with Adolis Garcia, with Garver, with Nathan Lowe. I think that's really going to make this kind of have a, I'd probably say 5 out of the 9 players being, above average hitters. And I think that's going to be, something that they've really looked to push forward. I like what they got in John Gray. Hopefully he can have another good year. and he's going to be their number one here. So getting out of Colorado, I think it's the best thing for John Gray. And Texas is a tough park because it's got deep outfields there in Texas, correct?
Yeah, and their new ballpark actually, like, because old Arlington Stadium used to play like heavy to offense, like balls used to fly out of the park there. Now that they have the roof, though, they put the roof on during the summer, and balls do not fly out of there.
Yeah.
So it's
I see a huge
different.
uptick in John Gray coming in and being a good starter there. So I like what they did. I think they can go over. I mean, 13 more games is going to be. It's going to be tough over the season, but I think they can get up to 73 here.
Well, the interesting thing about the Rangers, Ben, is you add Simeon, you add Corey Seager, you're paying those dudes a lot of money. You hope they're good. But this team still doesn't have pitching. Like, their best pitcher is John Gray. He needs to be my ace.
Yeah. I think Dane Dunning's all right.
They got a lot of all right dudes.
Yeah, that's true. They do.
I'll take Frankie Montas over any of their starting pitchers all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I think John Gray is going to have a hell of a season coming out of Colorado, though.
I do like this kid though, right here. Born in 1996, Jake Latz. He's probably really good.
You just like his last name.
I love his last name. He's probably really good. I wonder. I got to be related to him, dude. He's
not even going to be one of their starting rotation.
Well, he's got to make the team just because of his last name. Bro, hope. I have to be related to that kid because he's from Illinois. That's where my grandfather's from. Dude, I need to look into that 23andMe. Hey, 23andMe sponsor us. We could do a whole segment on this.
Yeah.
Nah, but seriously, I don't think they have enough pitching. Like, on paper, really, their lineup, Ben, Matt Carpenter.
You're asking them to be still a under 500 team.
Yeah, and I definitely don't think they're going to be.
I think they're a 500 team.
I mean, they're an interesting team because, like, Nick Solak was good last year, but now he's an infielder. Like, where are you going to play him? Because you bring in Simeon.
Well, he's going to be DH.
Man, like, I'd rather DH Simeon.
They could switch between the two.
Yeah, I guess it's
definitely
good. I guess it's depth. Cole Calhoun, I mean, he's kind of washed. Adolis Garcia is nice. They do have some nice pieces. I just think pitching's gonna rear its head for this team, dude. Just like it has for the Angels for several years.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna go over 73.5 because that's pretty low, but I don't love it.
I think this is gonna be a 500 team.
Yeah, but then it's like because these next two teams that we're gonna talk about improved too.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the first one. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim of Disneyland, 84.5 games, Ben. Where do you see them?
That's asking them to get another 7 games, and I think the big thing here is going to be, how Trout is going to play. If he's going to get hurt again, I think what they did bringing in Noah Syndergaard is going to be a good addition to their pitching rotation.
But he has to stay healthy.
Again, yep, you're absolutely right there. Has to stay healthy. Archie Bradley is going to be a good hit. I think this rule, specifically for Ohtani, is going to help their offense. With him being able to bat DH when he pitches as well. You're right in what you said earlier. The big issue with this team is still going to be pitching. I don't necessarily know how much Syndergaard is going to be able to give you when, you have 2 appearances in those last 2 seasons. Yep. So, is he going to come off strong with that? Is he going to re-injure himself? That's a huge question mark. If he comes back and plays like he did, prior to his injury with the Mets, then that's going to be a huge uptick here, with Ohtani as your number 1, with Sandoval as your number 3, Suarez. Actually, probably Suarez would be your number 3, Sandoval and Lorenz being your 4 or 5. So, this is a team that's going to be really looking at their offense to outplay their defense. And with Rendon, with Trout, with Ohtani, can they do it? I don't know. You're asking them what's their number there here? 83 and a half?
84 and a half.
84 and a half?
84 and a half.
I mean, to be honest, I think that's right. I think that's very much right. I'm going to put them just over that because I think Trout coming back in is going to win you 6 more games than where they were.
I'm going to go under, and it just still has to do with their pitching. Even if Syndergaard does stay healthy, like, to ask him to get back to that, like, Cy Young stuff that he used to throw at 29 years old, coming off 2 surgeries, including a fucking Tommy John surgery, I think that's asking a ton. And we talked about this with the Mets, dude. Like, I said, like, the way that DeGrom throws the ball, I can never expect him to stay healthy, dude.
Yeah.
And sure enough, here we are. DeGrom's hurt again, and I think that could play a similar factor with Syndergaard. And we've seen this team, dude. They've been able to fucking rake time and time again, but they can't fucking stop teams from scoring runs, dude.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to play, it's another factor. And also, Ohtani was not good in the second half of last year.
No, he wasn't.
He wore down, dude.
Yeah.
And I still don't think over 162 games, I just don't think it's possible for there to be a pitcher everyday outfielder. Like, I just think that's asking a human a lot, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so,
yeah.
Like, do the Angels, because the sad thing is, like, the Angels need this guy to pitch in their rotation, dude.
Yeah.
But you also need him to hit.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you do?
Well, they didn't bring in another outfielder, did they?
Well, you're really looking for Joe Adell to take that step.
That's true. And he should.
He should.
Yeah, because they didn't bring anybody in for their outfield, and you really need you're right. You really need Odell to take that step. And again, looked okay last year in the games that he played, but he didn't really get that opportunity. And I think you really do need Odell to go into the outfield, play as an everyday outfielder, and have Ohtani just be your DH.
And same thing with Brandon Marsh, who was like one of their top prospects too. He got a lot of playing time last year, and he didn't play very well.
Mm-mm.
So it's like, but that was also, he was a rookie. You know what I mean? So does he figure it out? Because you know as well as I do, baseball is a game of, adjusting to adjustments constantly. You have to constantly be adjusting because pitchers are going to figure you out. Once they figure you out, you need to adjust again.
Yeah.
It's all about adjusting. So
yeah.
Can he figure that out? Yes. Can Joe Adell figure that out? Yes. But I need to see it.
Yeah.
And I also need to see them pitch, which they haven't been able to do.
Yeah.
Now, can they make a trade for a pitcher? Absolutely. If they're within making the playoffs, and now that it's expanded playoffs, they could very well make a trade for a guy at the deadline on a team that isn't playing well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that possibility is always there. Like, let's say Steven Strasburg, right? He's playing well. The Nationals, we don't think are going to be very good. Could they make a trade for Strasburg? Like, it's a possibility.
Yeah.
In which case, I would lean the over. Maybe.
Yeah.
Strasburg's another dude that's always hurt. So I'm gonna go under here, but like it wouldn't. Like I could also see them going over. I could see them winning this division.
They can. Yeah, they could definitely win this division.
All right, let's hop in. So you're going over. I'm going under, which makes me believe this next team you're going under, the Seattle Mariners.
I'm actually going over. I don't see them as a team that's going to be dropping. Let's see, Mariners are at 84 and a half, and they won 90 last year. I don't see them going under 6 from their additions that they added here this year. I love the Robbie Ray pitching addition. Whenever you add a Cy Young Award winner, That's a good thing. Even if he doesn't have a season like he did, at least ERA wise, he's going to be somewhere close. Even at 2.84 last year, even if he goes to 3.15, that's going to be a good addition to the Seattle Mariners team. They played out of their minds last year. And I definitely, and even after the trade deadline where they kind of got rid of key players, they still played really well. So I like the addition of Robbie Ray. Jesse Winkler, I think is a good bat for them. Same with Eugenio Suarez. Frazier, I think, is a little washed, but I think that is going to be good for them. What really worries me about this is their relievers. They have Giles, they have.
That's where they were good last year. Like they had a good bullpen last year.
Yeah. Steckenrider, who was 5-2 with a 2 ERA and 14 saves. I think that's great, but that's about it. I don't think Sergio Romo is a good addition for that that bullpen. But
sucks, dog.
Yeah,
trust me. He was athletic last year.
I mean, he was with the Giants before, so I know. He was great for a couple of years, and then everything just died off. So I just don't. I think they're going to be right where they were last year. I see Kyle Lewis playing up to the the high levels that he has. I think he dropped down a little bit last year, but I think he can come back. You've got Julio Rodriguez coming in, who's going to be great. You've got Jared Kelenic, who hopefully
last year.
Yeah, hopefully plays to where he should be playing, at least the level of a prospect he was. So I definitely think this team can hit the 86 and a half?
Yeah.
84 and a half. So I'm going to go over this. I don't think it's going to be too much over. I think they're going to be exactly where they were last year at 90 and 72.
See, I thought last year they were I hate to say like lucky, but they were lucky, dude. Like they had a negative run differential all year and still managed to win 90 games. Like they won a lot of close games. They kind of caught fire. They had like a lot of good momentum. But they weren't great at pitching. They weren't bad at pitching. Their bullpen kind of carried them throughout the course of the year. They weren't great at hitting. I do think that they added Adam Frazier, who wasn't good on San Diego last year. He was over 300 with Pittsburgh, got traded to San Diego and wasn't good.
Yeah.
So you're really hoping for a bounce back from him. And then you're really hoping Jared Kelenic takes the next step. But you bring in Winkler to kind of offset that. So if Kelenic doesn't play well, you just have to hope that Lewis plays good and Julio Rodriguez. Like two of those three, the combination of the three, you're hoping take a step forward.
Yeah.
And then Winkler, though, he was hurt all of last year, so he really has to stay healthy.
Yeah. But, I mean, when he did play, look at his numbers. 305 batting average, 24 homers, 74 RBIs, and 949 on OPS.
Yeah, no, but you're only as good as your best ability is your availability.
Yeah.
And if he can't stay healthy, that's going to be tough for them, dude. He only played 110 games last year, and he missed the second half of the season when the Reds needed him the most.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He's never played over 120 games, Ben. Ever.
Okay.
So how many games do we expect him to play? He's only played over 110 twice in 5 seasons.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You hope. You definitely hope.
I think a lot of the Mariners, like, we're hoping guys stay healthy. We're hoping guys take the next step. And I don't like that recipe for over-under futures. I'm going to go under here.
Okay.
On the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, understood.
Honestly, I think this division's going to suck. Personally.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a bad division. Like, I could see Houston winning this division with, like, 86 wins.
I don't think Houston's getting 86 wins.
You don't think they're going to get 86?
No.
All right, let's talk about Houston. Over under 92.5 wins, man.
Definitely under. Definitely under. I don't think, I mean, they lost a lot of key pieces here. Carlos Correa, Zach Greinke, Kendall Graveman. Those are huge, huge losses for them. You're asking for, I mean, yes, you bring in Verlander, but Verlander, are we going to get like, are we going to get a good Verlander? That's a huge question.
Oh, that's a huge question.
Yeah, he missed all of last year, pitched one game in 2020. What's going to happen with that?
Well, this kid, Jeremy Pena, who's going to be replacing Carlos Correa, who's one of the top prospects in baseball, has been raking.
You hope.
He's been raking, though.
Yeah, but you know you don't take any kind of prospective from spring training ball.
Yeah, yes and no.
You're going against young pitchers. I don't.
You still have Jose Altuve. You still have Alex Bregman. You still have Michael Brantley. You still have Yordan Alvarez.
You're older. Alvarez, okay, I'll take it.
Alvarez is 24 years old.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, yeah, I'll take Alvarez. But like all
Bregman's
of those previous three are all just getting older and older.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for Houston is pitching. Hunter Brown's probably going to make their opening day roster. He's one of their top prospects. But, I mean, can you expect a rookie pitcher to be good throughout over the course of 30 starts? That's always tough for rookies because they've never pitched that much in their lives. You know? Jake Odorizzi, he was all right. But Luis Garcia was nice. You know what I mean?
Luis Garcia was nice.
And he
end of the year was not great for him.
No, it wasn't. But he was also coming off an injury last year. But he was good, and he can even be better. Lance McCullers is nice. So I mean, I think they have the best rotation in this division, hands down. As is, they definitely have the best rotation.
Yeah.
By default, they have the best rotation. I don't think any of these teams have good pitching.
No, I don't think any of these teams have good pitching.
That's why I'm saying
a huge question mark with that is Verlander though.
No,
you don't know
absolutely,
what you're going to get out of Verlander.
Even if I get a 4 ERA, dude, from Verlander, I'll take it.
He's played one game in the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, it's a question mark. But you have Urquidy. Framber Valdez was nice last year too, Ben. I mean, this is a team that has 6 starters potentially, especially with Hunter Brown. And if Hunter Brown pans out,
you talk about Jags. This starting rotation is just a bunch of Jags.
No, you're crazy, dude.
It's 3 plus.
Framber Valdez has stuff. He's only 28 years old. Jose Urquidy has
3
stuff.
3 plus ERAs for every single one of these people. Valdez 3.14. Garcia 3.3, Odorizzi 4.21, Urquidy 3.6, McCullers 3.1.
He's just an inning eater.
Yeah,
3.16. I'll take that all day. I don't need sub 3 ERA guys. Like I don't need I would love a pitching staff of aces, but let's be realistic, dude. You're not going to get that. But if I can get a 3 to 3.5 ERA, to 3 to 4 ERA to eat innings, dude, those are the kind of guys you need in a rotation. How many sub 3 ERA pitchers are there in the league? Every year there's like 5. You know,
there's more than 5, but
5 to 10. I would say 5 in each league. You know what I mean? Like those dudes don't just grow on trees.
That's right. They're just a bunch of Jags when they're Giants. Okay.
Well, no. Hold on. They're a bunch of Jags when their like career ERAs are 4 and they have a season where they're under 3. Big difference. We're gonna get to your Giants in a little bit, all right? You stay patient over there, Ben. I like the under for the Astros, dude. I like them to win the division.
I like the under.
But I like them to win the division. Like, I'm telling you, dude, I think
could.
this might be the worst division in baseball this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Mariners are going to win this division, but I think you're right. It's the worst division in baseball.
I think the NL Central might push it. Them and the NL Central are probably the two worst divisions for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, I'm telling you, the winner of this division is winning 88 games. Nobody is winning over 90 games in this division. Nobody. You could be right, dude. The Mariners could very well win this division at 88 games.
I think they'll get to 90, but yeah.
I just think so many of these teams are – every team is flawed, dude.
Yeah.
Like, majorly
absolutely.
flawed.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be.
This is not going to be pretty for this division.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very nasty division. And also, dude, the Astros probably have the best bullpen in this division too. You know, Ryan Stanek, he was nice last year. Brett Conine was nice. I mean, he's a rookie, but he throws gas. Pedro Baez he's up and down, dude, but I don't know. Like Abreu, he was good last year. I like the Astros to win this division, but I don't love it. But I like them to win the division. I just think this division gonna suck.
Yeah, agreed.
That is one big pile of shit.
All right, let's hop into this next division.
Not a big pile of shit.
I mean, could be
no.
Could be an interesting division here. I mean, not really. I don't even think it's going to be interesting because I think there's one team that's a heavy favorite that's going to win this division easily. But let's start it from
that last year.
And they were a game away.
Yeah, absolutely. But we thought they were going to run away with this division last year.
That's true.
It's not going to happen again this year. But
what's your so let's start it off with the Diamondbacks, dude.
Yikes.
Over under 60 games. This is the lowest over under, by the way, of all the. Even lower than the Orioles. What do you think? What do you
going
think?
Under?
Under 60? Bro, I feel like that's like
what did they do?
Dude.
What did they do? They only won 52 games last year. What did they do to get better?
Fuck, dude. If they go under 60 games.
You bring in Melanson, who's trash. Zach Davies, okay.
Melanson was he was an all-star last year.
Melanson's trash.
He was an all-star.
Great. With the Padres.
He was good for the first half last year.
With the Padres.
He fell off in the second half.
Yeah.
So did every
when the Padres were
player.
playing well.
He was a big reason why they were playing well, and then the whole team kind of fell off.
Yeah.
Dude, they brought in the great JB Wendelken from the A's. Fuck that guy. He sucks.
Yeah, Ian Kennedy. Okay, he's getting old.
Yeah, no, this
Jordan
is
Lupo,
this
Dan
is a
Straley,
nasty roster, bro. This is nasty stuff here.
Yeah, I don't.
Nick Ahmed might be their best player.
I don't see them being any better than they were last year. Great, you have a saver now, but they got to be in a save opportunity for Melanson to come in, and they're not going to be in a save opportunity for Melanson to come in.
A saver, dude. I like that. That's almost better than a closer. I like that. I actually like that saying better than closer. Like, that's what we need to start calling him, the saver. Hey, bring in the righty. We need the saver.
Well, in the Diamondback situation, that's all that he's going to be doing is he's going to be able to save them games.
Bro, that dude might only pitch 30 innings, dog, because there ain't going to be many fucking save opportunities.
No, there's not.
Yeah, I'm going to go under here, too, just because this is a nasty roster.
How did they get 8 games better than last year? I don't know what Vegas is doing.
Well, I think as far as over-unders are concerned, like, it's hard to put over-under out there like 55.5 because everyone's going to go over. Because very rarely do teams win 52 games or less. You know what I mean? Like, you have to put a number out there that people are going to bet. And not many people are going to bet under on 55, 58. Like, you got to go 60. Like, these shitty teams are the hardest teams to handicap an over-under for. As far as, like, putting out a number. You know what I mean? So, I understand why they put out 60. I would definitely take it under for sure. Geraldo Perdomo, though, he's gonna play. We saw him play in Vegas last year, Ben. He hit like 2 home runs when we saw him play.
Yeah.
He rakes. He's nice, but
I
yeah,
mean,
man.
Pavin Smith should be getting better.
This is a nasty team, bro. This is not a good team. I'm with you on that. I don't think they. I almost want to go over 60 just by default. I wouldn't bet this, but I'm gonna take the under here.
Yep.
Because this next team, I'm probably gonna take the over. Colorado
Really?
Rockies been over under 70 games.
Going under.
Why?
I mean, great, you add Chris Bryant, but your problem still stands in pitching.
Although never going to be a good pitching team.
Absolutely. And you lose one of your best pitchers, and Alex Colomb is nothing compared to what John Gray was. Chad Kuhl, okay, you're going to be your number 5 and 7 with a 4.82 with the Padres, or sorry, with the Pirates. You're going into a worse situation here. You've got Herman Marquez. I mean, you're never going to have anyone with a low ERA here, and you're looking at sub 4 ERAs for their whole, or sorry, above 4 ERAs for the whole rotation. And I mean, I just think it's hard to be a pitcher in Colorado. We know that, but like it's just bad for it's bad for pitching here. You add Chris Bryant, which I think he's going to rake in Colorado. You'd lose Trevor Story, which hurts.
Story was hurt like all of last year, though.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see what they've. I don't think they added anything great.
So I mean, I like Colorado. Jose Iglesias is nice defensively, and he's got like a little bit of a bat. He's basically like he is a Jag, you know what I mean? But Jags perform well in Colorado because of the altitude. You know, CJ Cron, he raked last year. He's a Jag. Charlie Blackmon, still when he's healthy, he's a great leadoff hitter because he makes contact, and in Colorado he get hit for power. I like Randall Grichuk. I loved him.
Blackmon didn't do much last year.
He was hurt
for half the season. Even when he played, he wasn't great
because he was playing hurt. I don't know. Colorado's one of those teams because they have such a home field advantage, dude. Like, it's one of those teams that like I hate playing the under for because they can be like they can always just strike fucking gold, dude.
Yeah, but at the same time, you got to think.
Like last year,
they have a home field advantage,
records.
but people coming into Colorado have an advantage as well. Their numbers go up going into Colorado.
Yeah, but their pitching numbers also go down.
Pitchers, yes, but batting and offense is still going to put up runs on all these pitchers. I mean, we see it.
Fuck, dude. I don't know.
I don't think they did anything to get better. And I think the Dodgers are going to be better this year. I think the Padres are going to be better this year. I think the Giants are going to be a little bit less this year.
I think Chris Bryant's going to hit like 55 bombs this year.
He could. Definitely could.
And
but
if you get a full season out of Blackmon, I think this could be like a little sneaky team, dude. Not to make the playoffs, but they could disrupt some stuff, dude. I'm a lean the over here, but again, I don't love it.
Going under.
I'll lean the over. All right, let's hop into this next team. Your team, the San Francisco Giants.
The Giants.
Over under 86 wins. What do you think?
I'm going to go over.
Of course.
Because I think they'll win 87.
Oh. Ooh.
they're not going to be the team that they were last year.
No.
They're not going to be the 107-55 team that they were last year. No way.
No.
I don't think you can put that back to back, but I don't see them going 20 games less than they did last year. So that's why I'm going to put them over the 86. I mean, I do think I think the Dodgers will play better than they did last year. The Padres, you would hope that they play better than they did last year, but I just don't see them dropping 21 games from where they were in the season last year. I think Rodon is going to be a huge upgrade to Cueto. I think he's going to be a decent upgrade to Gausman. I'd put Cobb as an upgrade to Cueto, not to Gausman. So, like, pitching, I think is going to be.
Well, I think anything is an upgrade over Cueto because he couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah. I think so. I'd put Rodon and Gausman the way Gausman pitched last year. Let's hope that Rodon can pitch as well as he did last year. I think, either way, I think even if he goes up, I mean, Rodon was lights out last year. So I think anything, even subpar, and he's not going to be the designated number one here. Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to be something that could benefit him. So I do like the pitching for San Francisco if they can continue with the way that they did last year. And it always does seem that pitchers come into San Jose and they play well. I do think it is something to do with the pitching stat or the pitching coaches in San Francisco that they really do, bring out the best in these pitchers. So I think that's going to be good. What I'm really worried about is the loss of Buster Posey, which is a huge loss. Not only just in defense and batting, but also in the clubhouse. From what I've seen from Joey Bart this offseason, it's been impressive. And, you look at Krupp and Kipe in their interviews, watching the games and really focusing on the games. Joey Bart is a completely different person than where he was last year. So I think that's a great sign to see. Just his confidence level is huge. So is he going to be the output of Buster Posey? Probably not, but I don't think it's going to be as much as a dip of with Buster Posey leaving with Joey Bart in there. So, I mean, I think that's good. We did lose a lot of kind of mid-level depth in Solano and Dickerson. So it's going to be tough. But, I think Peterson in a solely DH role is going to be great. I think this team can play well
though, because he can't hit lefties. So like you literally can't put him out there against lefties.
Yeah. I think this team is going to hit the over. It's not going to be anything like last year.
Yeah, I like the under for the Giants. This is actually like one of my best bets of over-unders too.
21 games less than last year?
Yes, absolutely. Because Darren Ruff was like a 38-year-old rookie last year, and there's no way he's going to repeat what he did last year. Like, I'm sorry. It's just there's a means to regression. There's no way he does what he does. And they relied a lot on platoon players, and a lot of those platoon players, which you named, aren't on the team any longer. So I don't know how they're going to repeat that production. And Carlos Rodon, he's only pitched over 130 innings twice in his career.
Yeah.
So Ben, you and I both know last year, and I know I said a lot of jokes about the Giants last year, and they played very well, Ben. But
yep.
we both said like they played over their heads, dude. You admitted it in this segment.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, dude, their over-under last year was like 78.5 wins, dude. And they were over 78.5 wins by fucking August.
Yeah.
There's a means to regression. I think Logan Webb, I do think he's going to be good. I think he is a bona fide ace.
Yeah.
But I also see a means to regression for Anthony DeScalfini, who's a career 4 ERA pitcher. Alex Wood, same thing. And then it's really, can you sustain that health with Carlos Rodon? Because I agree with you. Carlos Rodon is an upgrade over Cueto. Everybody's an upgrade over Cueto at this point because he couldn't stay healthy. But I just don't think they're gonna be able to score enough. And the only reason why I could see them going over is the fact that the Padres are hurt. They're gonna be without Tatis Jr. for a little bit, but they also added some pieces too. So I'm gonna take the under in the Giants here. I like them around like 82 to 84 wins. They even might make the playoffs, but 86 that's a lot of wins, especially because the Dodgers, man, we're going to get to them in a second. But let's get to the Padres real quick. 86.5 wins, Ben, over under.
I'm going to go under. I'm going to go under, and I would not bet this under. I need to see it from the Dodgers. Because
the Dodgers or the Dodgers?
What's that? Or sorry, the Padres. Sorry, the Padres. I need to see it from the Padres because last year they did not play well. They had a ton of injuries, albeit, absolutely. But I need to see this Dodgers team go and out there and win.
Yeah.
Because they have it on paper, but can they put it on the field?
It's like that
and
last
that's something
year too.
It was definitely like that last year. I thought that, Padres were going to be number 2, Giants number 3 easy. And it flip-flopped there. And can the the Padres stay healthy? That's my real question here. Because there were so many injuries last year. Clevenger, how is he going to come out after, Tommy John surgery? Paddock didn't have a season like we thought he was going to have last season.
Well, they traded
Darvish
him.
was not.
They traded Paddock.
Oh, just for Mania?
No, they traded Paddock to
No, he's in their projected starting.
Oh hold on.
Paddock was 7-7 last year, 5 ERA.
Oh shit, I thought they were trading him. Oh, it was a proposed trade, the Mets, because DeGrom got hurt. I'm sorry, I saw an article this morning, but it was a proposed trade.
Yeah, Snell did not pitch well last year.
Pitched well at home though. Pitched well at home.
Yeah, but not on the road. So 7-6 with a 4.2 ERA is not what they needed him to be.
But he was like 7 ERA at one point last year, dude. He pitched well when it mattered. Well, I shouldn't say when it mattered because.
Yeah. So there's a lot of question marks here. Tatis now being out for 3 months that's going to be a huge hurt for them. How is he going to come back with his shoulder? How is he going to come back with now his wrist? It's tough to really see how this team is going to play. Machado, a year older.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about the Padres, dude, is like they started out of the gates so hot last year, and then it's just like injuries and the season wore on, dude. Like the dog days of summer. If you're familiar with baseball, you always hear that saying, the dog days of summer. And it's real, dude, because once you get to, June, July, August, you're in the heat of battle, and like it's tough, dude. It's a tough game, dude. It wears on you, right? And last year, the second half of the year, bro, everything went downhill. Pitching, hitting, like it all just fucking piled on each other, right?
Yeah.
And it ended in disaster. They didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it was an complete and utter disaster of a season because it's a team that everybody projected to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And the thing with Fernando Tatis Jr. is he's one of my favorite players. And he's a very exciting player. But he cannot stay healthy, Ben. Only played 130 games last year. He's out with a broken wrist this year. Like, I need this kid to stay healthy. And then they're talking of trading. They've been trying to trade Eric Hosmer for fucking, it seems like 3 years since they signed them to that contract.
Yep.
I mean, the one thing I do like about this team, though, is that they add Sean Manaea. So they have a great pitching depth, dude. Great starting pitching depth. And they add a bona fide manager of the year, Bob Melvin. A great manager, a player's manager. If you
it's gonna be interesting to see how he does with a good team, though.
What do you mean a good team, dude? He took the A's to the fucking playoffs 3 years. Actually, like 6 years. 6 out of his 10 years as manager, he took him to the playoffs. That's what I'm saying. If you ever hear players talk about Bob Melvin, they will always say, Bob Melvin is my favorite manager. He is a player's manager, dude. Players love Bob Melvin.
Yep.
And that goes a long way in baseball. You know, as the Giants had what's his face? Bochy.
Bruce, yeah.
Bochy was a player's manager.
Yep.
Give me the Padres over 86.5 wins. Dodgers 97.5.
Over, no question. I don't understand how they can go down 9 games from where they were last year when they had. I mean, the pitching is still going to be a question mark, but
but I think they could get Trevor Bauer back, dude.
yeah, exactly, and that's going to push them way over. I don't think this is even a question. This would be my best bet of the the over unders that we have.
So
bets.
I agree with you too. I love the over 97.5, which is crazy because usually a number like this you want to go under, but I love the Dodgers over 97.5. Their lineup is nasty.
Yep.
And I think they're gonna add a pitcher at some point. Like,
yeah,
if they don't get Trevor Bauer back, they're still gonna add a pitcher.
Yeah, they have to, because you're not gonna get a full season out of Kershaw, in my opinion. He's too old.
Agree. Ben needs to take a piss real quick, so we're gonna take a break real fast.
Too much beer.
We're gonna take a break. He's gonna get another beer and then he's gonna chug it because he's making us take a break. So we're gonna take a break real quick while Ben takes a piss, and then we'll hop right back in here. We're gonna talk MVPs, Cy Youngs, and then we have a lot more to talk about. So stay locked with us. We shall be right back.
Yes, sir.
All right, I told y'all it was gonna be a quick break. Fucking Ben probably just drained his lizard right next to his fucking
Niagara
desk
Falls,
right
man. Niagara Falls.
Pulled out a fucking a cup or something, just pissing it real quick. Shit.
No, sir.
That is hilarious. Nah, we've all been there, man. That's the thing.
Do what you gotta do.
When you do a podcast like this, you don't get any commercial breaks like on a radio show. You know what I mean? That's when you can go do that. So
we've been sitting here for 2 hours.
Yeah, we have hour and 44 minutes right now. We are on, but like we said, dude, we got a lot to talk about this week, Ben.
Yep.
And then obviously like this was the NL and AL West, dude. I knew it was going to be a little bit longer because
these are our divisions.
These are our divisions, so
we know it. Yeah.
Definitely thought that, but let's hop into our division winners. So we've broken down We've handicapped all the over-unders, the futures. So NL West, I assume we both have the Dodgers, right?
Yes.
I know that pains you.
Yes. But I mean, we got to be real here. We definitely have to be real here.
Yeah. NL Central, who's winning? I have the Brewers. Because they still have the best pitching staff in baseball.
NL Central. Yeah, I'd probably do the Brewers.
NL East.
Ugh. See, this is tough because when we were talking about this last week, I would have said the Mets. Let's go with NL East.
I have the Phillies.
The Phillies. I'm gonna go Atlanta.
I told you when we did the NL East, I said you have to handicap in that DeGrom doesn't stay healthy.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yep. And look at where we are. So.
Yep. All right. AL West. You're going Mariners. You said that tonight already.
I'm going Mariners. Yep.
And I'm going
Mariners. I think have it.
And I'm going Astros.
AL Central. I'm gonna go with the White Sox.
I am going to go with the White Sox as well. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go Twins because today it was announced Lance Lynn is hurt. Yeah. Could miss some time. I'm gonna go Minnesota Twins, and then AL East. Ben, you're going. I'm going Blue Jays. I think you're on Blue Jays as well, right?
I am on Blue Jays as well. Yep.
I think that's the only team we both picked as on over them and the Rays.
Huge downgrades from all those teams. So
National League champion, Ben. Who you got winning the NL?
Dodgers.
I too have the Dodgers.
Yep. And I'm sticking AL. I'm sticking with the White Sox. Ooh, Toronto's close second. I'm gonna go Toronto.
I'm going Blue Jays too, dude.
Yeah.
That's my new team this year, by the way.
Yeah.
I have
they're gonna be great.
I've designated my fandom to the Blue Jays this year. Taking a year off of being an A's fan.
Yep. That's fine. I mean, I think Bo Bichette's gonna have a great year coming off from where he was last year. I mean,
I think Vlad Guerrero. Hold on. Never mind.
Damn. Then we're both going. Vlad Guerrero is gonna have an MVP season.
God damn it! I was like, hold on.
That's where I'm going too.
All right, but before we get there, World Series champions. So we got Dodgers, Blue Jays, World Series.
Dodgers.
Yeah, I'm going Dodgers too.
Fucking hate it.
Look at us taking chalk, man.
You know what? Because who's the coach?
Roberts.
Yeah, because he said that the Dodgers are gonna win. I'm gonna go Blue Jays.
Well, what's he supposed to say, bro? You can't.
Of course he's not. You have a tactful way of doing that, and he did not do it tactfully. So
I thought he did it. Good. I mean, what's he so? Man. All right, so MVP. We're both going AL. We're going Vlad.
Yep, Vlad Guerrero is definitely gonna have this. I just don't think. I don't think Ohtani's going to have the year that he had last year.
No.
He's odds leader right now at plus 350. Trout with plus 450 behind that. Trout is incredible, but I just don't see the Angels doing what they need to do to get into, being a top team in the league. The one thing about
baseball, though, Ben, is like voters don't really give a shit about team. They just care about the individual accomplishments. And I think Ohtani last year, the only reason why he won because he had such a dog shit second half of the year. Like he shouldn't have won.
Well, the only reason Ohtani won was because he was a pitcher and a batter.
Exactly. It was something new.
Yeah. And I mean, Trout is going to have, obviously, coming off an injury last year, he's going to have a great year, but I just don't think that the Angels are really going to do anything, which is going to make Trout not look as impactful of a player on his team. So,
so this is the interesting one, the National League MVP. Who's going to win the National League MVP in your opinion?
National League MVP. Man, this is tough.
I got mine. Mookie Betts.
Yeah, plus 900. That's pretty good.
Plus, he's playing in a lineup where he's like surrounded by hitters,
Great
so you
players,
can't really pitch around him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And really, if he stays healthy, which he's done for the most part of his career, just last year he was a little bit hurt, but he stays healthy, man. I love Mookie Betts to win MVP, bro.
I'm gonna take a long shot here.
All right, which one?
I'm gonna go Matt Olson plus 2,500.
Bro, I liked Olson too. So my top 3 MVP was Chris Bryant, Matt Olson, Mookie Betts.
Yep. Okay. My number 3 was gonna be Acuna. So, but I love Matt Olson. Mookie, great. Great pick there. I mean, Juan Soto, can he stay healthy? Is a big question mark for me.
Yeah.
Freddie Freeman, I mean, if he was on Atlanta, I think that would be a better place for him to get MVP there.
I mean, but I think on the Dodgers, he's gonna be like, that's what I'm saying. The Dodgers lineup is just so deep, dude. Everyone's protected.
That's why I don't think really Mookie is going to be in the MVP vote, because everybody on the Dodgers is going to be so good.
Mookie's going to be the best one of all of them.
I'm going to give it to Matt Olson. I think offensively and defensively, he's going to thrive in Atlanta.
All right, who's the Cy Young winners?
Oh, damn, I didn't even look at that. I didn't know we were doing Cy Young too.
Are we doing Cy Young? NL, I'm going to go Walker Buehler. I think this is the year he wins. I thought he was going to win last. Walker Buehler.
Okay. Sorry, I'm pulling up the odds right now. For NL.
I was bouncing between him and Logan Webb. Those were my 2 Cy Young winners.
Yeah, I see Logan Webb doing well. I mean, it could be Rodon too up there. Could be Walker. It could be Corbin Burns. Brandon Woodruff. We'll go with Woodruff at plus 1,100.
Woodruff. And then who's your AL Cy Young?
Let's see. AL. Oh, I don't like any of these up at the top. Garrett Cole being the fucking chalk here at plus 425. Nope.
Nah.
I can see Shane Bieber.
Shane Bieber bounce back?
Yeah, I can see McCuller Jr.
I'm actually gonna go out on a limb here.
Kevin Gausman.
No. I'm gonna take Shane McClanahan from the Tampa Bay Rays.
Okay, yeah, that could do it. He could definitely do it there. Casey Mize coming in at 4,500.
I should take fucking James Kaprelian, Oakland A's.
Is Kaprelian even on the list? Nope.
No, dude. I could probably go to the book right now and be like, yo, what odds will you give me? They'll be like fucking
plus 100,000.
plus 30,000 or some shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, I love it. All right, so just to recap it real quick, AL West, Ben has the Seattle Mariners winning. I have the Houston Astros. AL Central, Ben has the White Sox. I have the Twins. AL East, we both have the Blue Jays.
Yep.
NL West, we both have the Dodgers. NL Central, we both have the Brewers. NL East, Ben has the Braves. I have the Phillies. As National League champions, we both have the Dodgers. As AL champions, we both have the Blue Jays. So last year we were split last year.
Yeah.
So this is new territory here. And then World Series champions, Ben has the Blue Jays. I have the Dodgers. AL MVP, we both have Vladimir Guerrero. NL MVP, Ben has Matt Olson. I have Mookie Betts. Cy Young, AL, Ben has Shane Bieber. I have Shane McClanahan. So the two Shanes. And then NL, I have Walker Buehler. Ben has Brandon Woodruff.
Yep.
Those are our picks. We will put these up on the socials as well so we can keep track so y'all can talk shit if we're way off. Or you can bow down and praise us if we are right.
There we go.
Right?
Let's go, y'all.
All right. Let's move on to NFL real quick. This is probably our longest podcast we've ever had, by the way.
Yeah,
it's okay, dude. Good content is good content.
Yep.
Right? If you're still staying tuned with us, we appreciate y'all for real. Love y'all. Thank you for doing that.
That's what she said.
Yep. But let's talk about NFL news this week, man. And the biggest news was Tom Brady. Or I shouldn't say Tom Brady. I should say Bruce Arians retiring, but it brought to light a lot of the Tom Brady rumors. And by that, I mean the fact that we heard these rumors of Tom Brady. After he retired, we heard rumors that he was trying to unretire and go to the Niners.
Yep.
Which brought speculation that he didn't really want to retire, obviously. He just didn't want to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And obviously, we saw a lot of like fallout of the Bucs last year with like the Antonio Brown situation and all that shit. You know, what's your takeaway from Bruce Arians retiring, and what that means? You know, kind of for the whole situation, because I feel like from our analysis, I feel like we were kind of pretty spot on about what was going on, but it wasn't really confirmed, and this kind of confirmed all of it.
Yeah. And it's crazy to see that there was such a disconnect between Brady and Arians. And you know what we're hearing from former players and analysts of the Bucs is that there was so much of this disconnect that Arians would call plays and Tom wouldn't even listen to him. He'd call his own plays and he'd do whatever he wanted to on the field. And a lot of that issue was coming with running the ball. And Brady not thinking that they had a good enough rush game, to make any difference. So he'd want to throw the ball so much more than running the ball. And, it just in my eyes, I see where Arians coming from. I see where Brady's coming from. When you are the best quarterback in the world, you want to throw the ball. You want to make that your prime focus, and running is not what you want to do, because you've been on teams where that hasn't been a focus.
Right.
But in Arians' mind, you need to spread that offense. You need to give different looks so you can trick the defense into having to focus on two different aspects of the game. And there with Brady in the game, there's not really that, in New England, in Tampa Bay, there hasn't been that run push that has really trying to change the game. And I think that really does play a negative aspect on those offenses, because you don't have, the defense is really just looking for the pass.
Right.
And
right.
When you're Tom Brady, you can make that pass, but as Brady gets older, as things, the game changes, you need to have that dual threat offense. And, I can see where they butt heads. And obviously it came out that they were really butting heads.
Yeah. I mean, I think we saw them butt heads throughout the course of the first year, because they were kind of struggling up until their bye week. And then after their bye week, they run more of like the Patriots offense, right? A little shorter routes, a little different, kind of a lot different than Bruce Arians ever ran it. So, I mean, I think that right there showed that there was like a little bit of disconnect in the beginning, but like Bruce Arians obviously gave way. And I think a big part of, football and sports in general is like you have a lot of alpha males and a lot of egos that you have to fucking battle through. And I think it was like a perfect segue, dude, for Arians to be like, okay, like, I'm going to retire and move into the front office and y'all can do whatever you want, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I think it was perfect. And I think Brady retired hoping that Tampa Bay was going to be like, okay, well, if you're going to retire, then we're just going to trade you, because they knew he still wanted to play, obviously. Yeah. And I think that's why Tom Brady was so like nice in his retirement speech about the Bucs, like, oh, thank you to Jason Light and thank you to Bruce Arians and all this stuff, because they were hoping like, okay, well, or he was hoping, okay, well, maybe they will trade me in this case. But Tampa called his bluff, dude. You know what I mean? They were like, bro, we ain't cutting you. We ain't releasing you. Like, you're still under contract. It is what it is. And then we heard rumors a week ago that he was trying to force a trade to Miami.
Yeah.
And then it was like, boom, Bruce Arians retires. So obviously Tom probably went to the front office and was like, hey, I'm going to come back and play, but Bruce can't be head coach. Like, I want to run the offense. I want to do my thing with Byron Leftwich. So they make Todd Bowles the head coach, and it all just makes sense. Todd's going to run the defense. Tom and Leftwich are going to run the offense, and everything works itself out, dude. And Tom Brady always said, I want to play to 45. Like, that was always his goal, dude. Yeah. And here he is at 45 years old. He's going to get his chance to do it. And the fact that quarterbacks can't be touched, it's a little bit easier.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So here we are.
It's crazy that he has such a stronghold on a whole organization.
Well, I mean, like, he has to, because what else are they going to do? Like, they weren't going to go out there and start fucking, what's his face?
Kyle Trask.
Kyle Trask, dude. Like, bro, they were in no man's land. Like, they have a roster that's like ready to win now. Like, of course they're gonna like bow down to Tom Brady. Not only is he the most winning quarterback of all time, because he's not the GOAT. He's the most winning quarterback of all time because he's lucky and he's on good teams. But like, he gives them a better chance to win, obviously, than any other option they were gonna get.
All right.
It's that time of the night for our best. Oh, hold up. Before we get to best bets, it is not that time. It is time for our 2022 Masters.
Damn, this is a long show.
It is very long. But obviously, we're going to run through the Masters real quick. So, Masters coming up on Thursday. Same day as opening day in baseball, which is going to be very interesting. First of all, who do you think has better ratings on the first day? Major League Baseball or the Masters, Ben?
Baseball. Nobody cares about the first 2 days of the Masters.
Even if Tiger Woods plays?
Nope. Saturday, Sunday. That's all they get.
I think if Tiger plays.
Tiger's not playing.
Tiger is playing.
He can't walk the course. Nope, he's not playing.
Bro, Circa put out odds. Will Tiger Woods have a stroke in the Masters? So all he had to do was swing a golf club one time at the Masters. It opened at yes, like plus 2,000. No was like minus 1,000. And then the next day, after he played that practice round, it moved to minus 110. That's crazy. He's playing.
So what's no at?
Right now, I don't. It was like minus 110, both of them after he played that practice round and said he felt good.
Is that minus 110? Fuck, I would have loved for better odds. He's not playing. He can't walk the course, and he can't take a cart. It's against the rules.
So, will Tiger Woods complete one or more strokes in the Masters? Yes, minus 635 now. So he's definitely playing, dude.
What's no?
Plus 430.
No, plus 430. Okay.
You don't think he's gonna play at all?
I don't.
I definitely think he's playing. He just played 4 practice rounds, dude. If he didn't play 4 practice rounds, I would agree with you. I'd say no, but I definitely think he's going to play. So, which golfers do you like in this?
I got a couple here. I think the first is Scotty Scheffler. He's coming in at plus 1,600 odds, but he is really hot for kind of where he's been playing the last couple rounds that he's been in. He's won 3 of his last 5 coming in. So, it's definitely something that we can look as kind of being the hot hand for this tournament. He has been great in the Masters himself. He's 17th and 19th over his last 2 appearances in Augusta. But just being in the hot hand and playing incredible right now, I think you can definitely put some money in on Scotty Scheffler at plus 1,600 odds here. That's definitely somebody that you can look at. I know he's the highest ranked person here for the Masters odds, and that's John Rahm at plus 900. He always plays these big tournaments really well. Last time, his last 4 starts in the Masters, he got 4th, 9th, 7th, and 5th, which is definitely, not too shabby. And, he was, I think he's ranked number 2 in the world, behind Scheffler right now. So, plus 900 odds, I think is really good here. You can never take out Justin Thomas, Cameron Smith. Both these guys are Masters kind of long-term players here. Both playing really well in the season here. So I think those 4 would be definitely great bets that you can put money on. You've got, so Rahm is at plus 900. You've got, let's see, Justin Thomas, who's sitting at, where was he? Plus 1,200. Scheffler plus 1,600. So Cameron Smith plus 1,600. So I think you could throw a little bit of money on each of those players. And, at this point, any of them win, you're going to be making a ton of money off of this. 100 down, John Rahm wins 900. Thomas wins 1,200. Smith and Scheffler wins 1,600. So you put 400 down, you can easily make, double to quadruple your money here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Rory McIlroy plus 1,400. I just think he's been quiet of late. I think it's a bounce back time for him. I could definitely see him winning this tournament. He's won it before, obviously. So
Rory McIlroy has not. This is the only tournament that he has not won. This would have been the
even better, dude.
The tournament to end his what's it called when you win them all?
The Grand Slam, but
Grand
you got to
Slam,
win them
yeah.
all in 1 year to
but to win them all, I think to win them all at one point is also called something else. But Rory has not won the Masters yet.
So I like Rory plus 1,400. That's gonna be my first one, and then Colin Morikawa, he won it last year plus 1,200.
Yeah.
Kid's playing great golf over the last couple of years, so I definitely think he's one to keep an eye out. And then obviously Brooks Koepka plus 1,800 because the dude, when he just shows up under the fucking lights, even though there's no lights because they play under the sun. But when the event is big, Brooks Koepka plays well. So I mean, those are the 3 that I have my eye on: Rory McIlroy plus 1,400, Brooks Koepka plus 1,800, Colin Morikawa plus 1,200.
Like your 2 of your 3 picks. I would not put my money on Koepka, but that's just my opinion. Watch him win.
Koepka is always a good one, man. All right, Ben, let's hold up.
All right.
Now it's time.
Now it is time for our best bets of the night, Ben. So last week, I went 2-0 last week. You went 1-1 last week.
Yep.
What are your 2 best bets of the week this week, Ben?
Nice. Back to over 500 for you. Good job.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're going 4.5 on UNC, so we're gonna go plus 4.5 on UNC here. I just like the way that they've been playing in this in the tournament, and I really love your kind of information there that they are 5-0 against the spread here, and teams that have gone 5-0 have won the national championship. Going at least 6-0 against the spread. So really do like UNC here. I think, like you were saying earlier, if it's over 3.5, we definitely go with that, with that mark. So we're going to go with UNC plus 4.5. And we're also going to be going with a hockey parlay because I like a couple golf bets, but I will not be betting golf until Saturday. After Saturday is over, I will pick a couple players to put on and kind of hedge some bets and still make some money on golf. But for hockey on Monday, we are going to go with the Bruins over the Blue Jackets. And a big thing with the Bruins over the Blue Jackets is that the Blue Jackets are on a 6-game losing streak right now, which is very, very difficult to overcome, especially when you're playing a team that is at the top of their division with the Boston Bruins at 43-20-5. Boston is they are lights out. Ullmark is playing well. Even their backup is playing incredible. And when you're going up against Merzlikins, which is a 3.41 goals against average, it is not going to be pretty. So we are going to go Boston over the Blue Jackets, and we are also going to be going the Blues over the Coyotes. The Coyotes do like to win games that they shouldn't be winning, but I don't think that's going to happen here. St. Louis is fighting for their playoff positioning, and they're just a lights out better team than Coyotes here, going over a goal more per game and over 0.6 goals less per game against. So we're going to be looking at St. Louis over Arizona. You parlay those both together, it's going to be around plus 75, plus 100 for those two games. And I think you can definitely get some good plus money there on the pig. So UNC plus 45, and then the Bruins and the Blues getting money line.
Nice, man. So I too am taking North Carolina plus 4.5 points. Definitely think they're gonna hang. We talked about this earlier in the show. I love what North Carolina has done in the last month and a half. 5-0 against the spread in the NCAA tournament, and they've beaten good teams, dude. Baylor, NCAA Final Four hopeful, UCLA Final Four hopeful, and they've been handling them. And they beat the most talented team in Duke, dude. And it's an emotional win. I like North Carolina plus the 4.5 points. And then I, too, am also no NBA, so I'm going St. Louis Blues minus 1.5. Coming off covering against the Calgary Flames, Ben. They just beat the Flames. So Flames are a great team. Going against the Coyotes, like you said, they're playing for a playoff spot. So give me the St. Louis Blues minus 1.5.
There we go. All right, so that was the sports aspect of the podcast. We are now going to get back to our beers. So we both had two great beers, at least from the onset. Now it is time to see what they rank out of 5 here.
Yes.
So tell me, you started off with that Pilsner. Tell me how that was.
Yeah, man, that Reign unfiltered Pilsner was excellent, dude. It was like a dry Pilsner. It was really good, flavorful. I could drink that all day. I'm going to give it a 4 or 5 out of 5. I liked it. And then my Hazy IP from El Segundo, that was a great Hazy IPA, dude. I really enjoyed that one as well. It was a little bit heavier, obviously. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I would definitely drink it again, and I would buy it again.
Damn, we were both really close on our numbers here. So I had the first one I had was the Revision and the Rip Brewing Company. And that was the Ripon and Brevin. This was the double IPA, the West Coast style.
Ripon and Brevin.
This one was wonderful. I'm going to give this one a 4.5. It had great legs on this beer. And when I talk about great legs, I'm talking about where you're looking at the beer as you're drinking it and you continue to see the foam rings as you're going down the beer. It was definitely something that had a great hop taste to it, a great hop smell to it, but it wasn't overly hoppy, which is something that you can really get with your double IPAs here. And I think the best part about this was it was an 8.5%, but you could not tell that it was an 8.5% beer. So you could feel it as you were drinking, but it didn't taste overly alcoholic. So I'm going to give this one a 4.5. The second beer that I had, this was the Masters. This was the Members Bounce, the New England style hazy IPA. I'm going to give this one a 3.75. It was one I would drink again, but it wasn't one that I would go out of my way for. It was a very dry beer. It kind of reminded me of a dry brew champagne. Something that like as you're drinking, it's just kind of it doesn't necessarily moisten your taste buds here.
Right. Drink some water with it.
Yeah, exactly. It was really heavy too. Being a hazy IPA, this is one that kind of you're full after drinking this beer. And the tough thing about this beer is, as you can see in the video here, it does come in a 24.5 ounce can, which is difficult to kill. And just because it's heavy and it tastes like that loaf of bread here. So I'm gonna give it a 3.75. It was something I would drink again, but it was something I wouldn't go out of my way for.
Okay, fair enough.
Not bad. Definitely not bad. But that's the podcast, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for staying around for the whole thing here. It was definitely a long one tonight, but it was definitely worth it. We had some great stuff to talk about and a huge weekend in sports. So this is our heaven when we can talk sports and beer and go for days and days and days. So again, thank you for listening. Make sure to go to Instagram at Taproom Sports. You can check out our Twitter, which is at Taproom_sports. You can check out Jordan, which is at Jordan Rules TSP. Yes, and sir. For the mass media, I did make a Twitter. We may get some content coming out.
Ben made it.
So we'll definitely see that. But make sure to check us out on Facebook. You just search Taproom Sports Podcast. You can go to our website, www.taproomsportspodcast.com. Make sure to check out all of our podcasts. We've got APR coming out on Thursdays where Jordan and Steady Eddie are talking about the USFL. I will be back and joining them here and there. And then once the NFL season starts coming up, I will be back full force on that. Make sure to check out In the Game where Jordan is talking about different sports and having great guests come in.
Sure.
You were solo this last week, huh?
Been solo the last couple of weeks, man.
Okay.
I've been
maybe the last two I've noticed, but
had a lot to talk about. But honestly, my last episode, I talked a lot about the Lakers and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Very passionate episode. Got a lot of good reviews on it. So, I'm gonna have some guests on though in the future. I got Jabari coming on. We're gonna do an NBA playoff preview.
Beautiful.
Next week.
Hell yeah. Make sure to check out TSP Wagers as Jordan and I break down a couple games. We cannot wait for baseball season because we absolutely killed it.
Talking opening day baseball this week, Ben.
Oh, it's going to be beautiful. Beautiful.
Yes.
I think we're like 70% last year, which wasn't awesome.
That good. 60%, but yeah.
65. But we're going to be making some great best bets. We've grown as bettors over this last year, so we're going to continue to kill it. Make sure to check out Biscuits and Barrels. We will be coming out eventually. We've been having scheduling conflicts over the last couple of weeks with the 90-second beer review guys. They're just too important and too popular. So, it's tough to get out on their schedules, which is understandable because they are absolutely killing it. And can't complain about that. So we will get Biscuits and Barrels out soon to get a preview for the playoffs and to talk the last month of the season. But yeah, that's it. Ton of podcasts coming out on the network. We're looking to add a few more as well. So we've got hopefully some things in the work. I've got to talk to Mr. Jordan Stacks on Stacks Lats about that. But
let's go.
For the podcast, we will see you next week. I'm Big Ball and Ben Larson. Here with Jordan Stacks on Stacks Lats.
Let's go.
We will see you later.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for tuning in with us. Thank you for staying with us for 2 hours, man. This was a good one.
Hell yeah.
Definitely be back.
Peace.